So after you install the Raspberry Pi OS, now let's connect it to it remotely using VNC. So for that you'll need a software called as VNC Viewer. So here I have downloaded the VNC Viewer for Windows. Go ahead and click on a new connection and you can enter the IP address of the Raspberry Pi and click on OK. And also while giving the IP address, you need to give along with that you need to append the port number of the VNC. So here the VNC process is running on the port number 5901. So I have appended that along with the IP address, and then I will open this connection. Then it will ask for username and password. So here I am entering the username as Pi and the default password, that is Raspberry. Click OK. So then you will be connected remotely to the Raspberry Pi using the VNC. So after you are connected to the VNC, let's go ahead and install the prerequisites needed for the project. Before that, we'll check out the Raspberry Pi OS version. For that, run this command cat etc *release. So this will show you the version of the Raspberry Pi Raspbian OS, which is version number 10, and it is Debian flavor. Let us also check the Python version, which is available, which has already pre-installed with this OS. That is Python. If you type Python space --- version, you can see that it has an older version of 2.7 update 16. And for the project, we'll be using the Python 3 version. So we'll go ahead and type Python 3 --- version. So you can see that the Python version, the new latest version which we'll be using is the 3.7 update 3. Now first, let's update the packages, latest packages into the Raspberry Pi. So for that, let's go ahead and update the packages on the OS. So run the command sudo apt-get update. It will take a minute or two to install the packages. Okay, now the packages have been installed. Now let's install the Adafruit Circuit Python package. It is a library which is needed to read the temperature and humidity values from the DHT11 sensor. So for that we will be installing the pip3 package. Pip3 installed Adafruit Python -DHT. So it will take a few seconds to install the package. So after you install this package, we'll also need to install one more package, which is a supporting package needed for the DHT11 sensor, that is sudo libgpio d2 is the package name. Okay, it's done with the installation. Next, we'll install the AWS IoT Python SDK, which will be using to interact or we'll be using it to connect to the AWS IoT cloud platform. So this is also a pip package. So the command is pip3 install AWS IoT Python SDK. That is the package. Next, we'll be cloning the Git repository. That is basically a AWS IoT device SDK Python repository, which has few samples of basic PubSub code, which will be using while connecting and sending the messages to the AWS IoT topic, and also reading the messages from the AWS IoT topic. So go ahead and clone this Git repository. We'll be using this in the later part of the project. So I will show how to copy the file, make a copy of the sample file, and we'll be inserting the code, the Python code to read the temperature value, humidity value, and moisture values as well. Next, we'll also download one of the root certificate, which will be needed for making the communication. So go ahead and just download this one now. Now it's time to test the DHT11 temperature sensor. For that, I have connected to the Raspberry Pi using PuTTY. that is remotely I have SSSed into the Raspberry Pi. So now it's time to go ahead and test the DST11 temperature sensor. We'll write a small Python program to read the temperature and the humidity values from the temperature sensor. So for that I am using the VI editor mode to create a file. I will call it as temperature underscore test.py. So in the beginning of the file, I will have to import the Adafruit library. If you remember that we have installed the Adafruit using the pip3 package, Adafruit library. So I will be importing that library in the first line using the import syntax. So import Adafruit underscore DST. Next I will be importing another library called as board, which is used to connect to the Raspberry Pi and read the values from the GPIO 4 of the Raspberry Pi. Next I will also using the importing the time package. So if I want to add any delay in the program, I will be using this time dot sleep and adding the delay. Next we'll create a variable. So we'll call it as DST device, and for that in that variable we'll try to initialize to the Adafruit DST library. DST11, and here you will have to mention the GPIO pin to which the DST11 sensor is connected. Since it's GPIO 4, here we need to give it as board.d4. Since we have initialized the DST Adafruit library, next we will have to read the temperature and humidity values from that library. So this library is used to read the sensor temperature and humidity values from the sensor. So to go ahead, I just have a quick snippet of the program which I had created earlier. I will use that program and I will explain you how program runs. So this is a program. So here I have put the logic inside the while loop, so to read the values continuously. So here I have used a variable called as temperature underscore c, in which I will be reading the temperature value, that is from the DST device variable will be extracting the temperature value. And next there is one more variable called as temperature underscore f, wherein the temperature which I have read it, actually it will be in Celsius. So that temperature we can convert it into Fahrenheit to display using this formula. Next, to read the humidity values, we'll have to give it as DST device.humidity. Next time you can print each of the temperature values that is in Celsius, Fahrenheit, and also the humidity values which is in percentage in a single line, or we can also print it in the one line using print statement as shown like here. Next I have put this code inside the try and except block. Except block will catch any errors encountered while running the program. So sometimes the DST11 temperature sensors, when we read, we will not be getting the value immediately. So at that time, instead of breaking and coming out of the program, the except block will continue. It will catch the error and the program will try to continue and read the sensor values again, and we will be getting the sensor values, that is the temperature and humidity values. So now let's go ahead and run this program. So I've saved this file. So you can see the file content using cat command. So this is the program which we have saved now. So let's go ahead and run this program. To run the program, we'll be using the command called as python3. We need to give it as python3 space file name and press enter. So once you press enter, as you can see that the temperature value is coming in Celsius, that is 24 degrees Celsius, and it is converted to Fahrenheit. And also you can see the humidity values which is in percentage shown over here. So this will be varying. DST11 sensor will, it's not accurate actually. To get more accuracy, you can use more higher sensors actually, like DST22, and there are other sensors which are available. But for our project, we will be using this one since we can get the room temperature and the humidity value. Now let's test the soil moisture sensor. We'll write a small program for the soil moisture sensor to read the values, similar to like how we wrote the program for the temperature sensor and read the values. So first let's go ahead and create the file. So here I'm using the VI editor to create the file or create and edit the file. So you can use any of the other editors which are available in the Raspberry Pi, like Gene editor and other editors, default editors which comes installed with the Raspberry Pi. So in the beginning, first let's import the GPIO library of Raspberry Pi. Next, I'm importing the time module. So here I'm creating a small function and calling it as soil. And inside this function, I will be reading the GPIO pin. the value which is coming on the GPIO pin. So first we need to do the set mode, set the GPIO to BCM mode of the Raspberry Pi. Next I will set the warnings, set warnings as false. Next I will create a variable soil pin and give the value as 18, which is the GPIO pin to which the soil moisture sensor is connected. So this is a comment I am giving to the line. Next we need to set this soil pin into input mode. GPIO.in. Next we will print this the value which is coming on this pin using the print statement. Input soil pin. Now we finished creating this function. Now let's call this function. So I am using a while loop to continuously call this function and read the soil moisture value. So I've given the function name over here, and I am adding a delay of 1 second between the each read we do it to the sensor. I've saved this file. So now it's time to go ahead and run this program. So to run the program, I'm using the same command Python 3. I'm using the Python 3 version space soil file name. It is soil_test.py. So I'm getting a small error here. Let me correct it. So this should be in uppercase rpi.gpio. Let me clear the window and run the command again. So here you can see that we are getting the value as 1. Since the soil moisture sensor is dry, we are getting the value as 1. So if I insert this sensor into the water, the value changes. You can notice that one. Also you can notice there is a light actually which will be coming on the sensor, which will be appearing on the sensor when it is wet. So now inserted into the water, and you can see the value is now 0. We are getting value as 0. And when I remove it from outside, we will be getting value as 1. So it means that when the sensor is dry, we will be getting the value 1, and when the sensor is wet, we will be getting the value 0.